She said they married yesterday, but she never knew what she took from me that day. The moment she said it, my hands began to shake. I had asked the question with so much hope in my heart. I was already imagining flowers, guests, laughter, and my son standing proudly beside the woman he loved. I smiled and said, "So when is the wedding?" My daughter-in-law didn't hesitate. She looked straight at me and said, "We got married yesterday." "Not tomorrow, not next week, yesterday." The smile on my face froze. My chest tightened, as if someone had pressed their palm hard against my heart. I waited for my son to laugh, to correct her, to say it was a joke. But he didn't. He just looked down at the floor. That silence hurt more than her words ever could. My name is Eleanor. I am a mother, and for most of my life, that was my only identity. My husband died when our son, Michael, was 12 years old. One day he was there, fixing the broken fence, and the next day, I was standing in a hospital hallway signing papers I barely understood. From that day on, life became survival. I worked wherever I could, cleaning houses, working in grocery stores, taking night shifts I was too tired for. Every coin I earned went to Michael. His school, his clothes, his future. I never complained. I never expected anything in return. All I wanted was to see him happy. And for a while, I did. Michael grew up to be intelligent and ambitious. He got a good job in the city. When he told me he had met someone special, my heart felt full again. Her name was Clara. She was beautiful, confident, and spoke with certainty about everything. The first time she came to our home, she looked around as if she was quietly judging every corner. I ignored the feeling in my stomach and welcomed her warmly. I cooked her favorite meals. I listened when she talked. I tried to make her feel at home. But she always kept a distance, like a wall I wasn't allowed to cross. When Michael told me they were planning to get married, I cried that night. Happy tears. I began saving money quietly, even skipping small comforts, just so I could help with the wedding. I wanted to give them a gift, something meaningful. Months passed. Every time I asked about the wedding, the answer was vague. Soon, we're busy, we haven't decided, until that day. We got married yesterday. I congratulated them. I hugged Clara. I kissed Michael on the forehead. But inside, I felt invisible. I was his mother, yet I was not important enough to be told. They moved into my house shortly after. Clara said it made sense financially. I agreed, even though something inside me whispered that I would regret it. Slowly, the house stopped feeling like mine. Clara rearranged everything. She replaced my curtains, repainted the walls, and packed away things that held memories. One afternoon, I noticed my wedding photo was gone from the shelf. I asked her where it was. "Oh, I put it in a box," she said. "It's a bit old-fashioned. That photo held my entire past, my love, my loss." But I stayed quiet. Michael changed too. He stopped asking my opinion. He stopped sitting with me in the evenings. Clara always spoke for him, decided for him. One night, after dinner, Michael cleared his throat and said, "Mom, we need to talk." I already knew what was coming. He said they needed space, that the house felt crowded, that it would be better if I found another place. I nodded calmly. But that night, I cried into my pillow like a child who didn't understand what she had done wrong. I moved out the following week. A small apartment. One room, thin walls, silence so loud it felt unbearable. Days passed, no calls, no visits. Then I heard through a neighbor that Clara was pregnant. I was never told. I found out like a stranger. That was when something inside me finally broke open. Not into anger, but into realization. I had given everything to my son, but I had forgotten to give something to myself. I found a job at a community center. I met people who listened to my stories. I started painting again, something I loved before life became heavy. Slowly, the emptiness softened. 2 years later, my phone rang late at night. Michael had been in a serious accident. I rushed to the hospital. He looked small, fragile, surrounded by machines. Clara arrived hours later, annoyed, not worried. When the doctors explained the long recovery ahead, I saw fear in her eyes. Not fear for him, but fear for herself. A week later, she left. She said she wasn't ready for responsibility. She took the baby money, the jewelry, and walked away without looking back. Michael was shattered. I took him home. Not because I had forgotten the pain, but because love does not keep records of wrongs. Recovery took years. During that time, Michael changed. He listened. He helped. He apologized, not once, but many times. One evening, while we sat quietly, he said, "Mom, when Clara said you should leave, why didn't you fight back?" I looked at him and said, "Because sometimes life teaches lessons better than words ever can." Today, Michael is stronger, kinder, wiser. He visits me often. He never forgets a call. He never makes decisions without listening. As for Clara, I heard she married again. Some people keep running, never stopping long enough to face themselves. That sentence she spoke years ago still echoes in my mind. We got married yesterday. She thought she was claiming a victory. But she never knew that by pushing me aside. She pushed my son toward the lesson that changed him forever. Sometimes the deepest revenge is not anger or punishment. It is patience. It is dignity. It is surviving betrayal with grace and letting time reveal the truth. I lost my place in my son's life that day, but in losing it, I found my strength, and that is something no one can ever take away.